Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now under 4 months away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is, of course, going to introduce many different aspects that take place in between the originals and the sequels, as well as really changing some of the main characters, like Rey, Luke, Leia, Lando, and of course even Emperor Palpatine / Darth Sidious. And on top of all this, we do know that Episode 9 is aimed to be the darkest Star Wars film in the Skywalker saga's history, which could very well be a big thing for J.J. Abrams to really highlight the sequel trilogy. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that it's described that one of the scenes that were shot during the month of October of 2018, just late last year, involved a sequence that was filmed over at Cardington that involved both Mark Hamill and Daisy Ridley as Rey. It's explained that the recreation of the world of Octu took place here and that this sequence involves a lesson from Luke to Rey about the Force and the Jedi. The scene is said to mirror Luke traveling back to Dagobah to meet with his master Yoda in Return of the Jedi, where Rey is said to have a scene with Luke on Octu. It's said that on set a prop that was used was labeled as Leia's lightsaber hilt -Legacy 404 _ stunt saber. It's explained that at some point in the film, it will be established that Leia had once owned a lightsaber of her own in the film that will eventually resurface from Luke Skywalker that has been hiding it on Octu inside of the caretaker's library of Jedi relics and artifacts. Now, the design of the hilt is said to be a mixture of Kenobi's and Anakin's, and indicates that Luke did this for Leia to honor both his father and one of his masters, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this is a very exciting thing about Episode 9. Not only does this stay true to Star Wars Legends, where in the EU, also known as the Expanded Universe, Leia also had a lightsaber of her own, which is what J.J. Abrams is trying to recreate in The Rise of Skywalker. But on top of all of this, it really seems as if Luke is going to hand it down to Rey for some odd reason. We're still not quite sure exactly if that's going to be the case, but nonetheless, Leia's lightsaber is going to be a thing in The Rise of Skywalker. One of the props being labeled as, of course, Leia's lightsaber hilt -Legacy 404 _ stunt saber. Now, here's the thing. Why would it be called a stunt saber if it's not going to be used in an action-packed sequence? If you guys had to ask me, I really do believe that this saber hilt that once belonged to Leia is either going to be used by Ben Solo or maybe even Rey at some point in time in the third act of Episode 9. Honestly, I think that Ben Solo using it would be a little bit better because he's related to Leia. He is indeed the son of Leia. It would make a lot of sense, and I think it would be rather poetic and rather heartwarming for Ben Solo to do that. So, with that being said, the fact that Luke Skywalker not only owns his green lightsaber on Octu, but also has Leia's lightsaber hidden away inside of the caretaker's library. Inside of this library is said to be a place full of ancient Jedi and, of course, other forms of relics and artifacts that once belonged to Force users. And I think what's so inspiring about this by JJ is that, once again, he's digging into Star Wars Legends and bringing it back into the Star Wars canon material, where at one point in time, Leia at least tried to become a Jedi. She may have not been an actual Jedi, quote unquote, but she may have been training to become a Jedi before she quit, where she was pregnant with Ben Solo, or she was too involved with politics, or she was dealing with Han Solo, all of those different things, right? So, with that being said, Luke Skywalker in this film, it really seems like that they are really trying to use him as a component to explain more elements of the past that fans never knew about in between Episodes 6 and 7. And that really is a large time jump. We're talking 30 plus years in the making here of what's actually going to be told in Episode 9 by JJ. And the last thing I just want to go over here is that I'm very excited to see how Carrie Fisher's footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi is going to be established in The Rise of Skywalker. We got a little tease, just a small tease of how that would be done in the Rise of Skywalker teaser trailer 2, where she's in the middle of the woods on that tropical world. We're still not quite sure exactly where it is. But nonetheless, guys, I'm very excited to see how this is all going to play out and what the lightsaber is really going to be used for. Like I say, it's labeled as a stunt saber for, either Daisy Ridley or Adam Driver for all we know. And that right then and there tells us that at some point in time, in some way, shape, or form, it's going to be used in a particular sequence that is going to be an action scene. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.